Hi everyone, this is Mr. Fusion Designs and welcome to our channel. Today we have a build from Fanhome. It is the Fast and Furious Bill Bryan's Nissan Skyline GTR Pack 19. Today we are doing issues 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104. So, as you may have seen, it is a small box, but believe me, it is a massive pack. We are putting most of the parts together and it will be amazing. So, I'm gonna do my best to make this video as short as possible, and let's see how we get on. This is the magazine from 99, so roll cage and trunk. So we put in a boot lid, putting some parts together and getting ready. Oh no, we are installing media center. And that is the end result in 99. So let's get on with it. We have these pieces and we need these washers. Let's get that like that. Recommended a tweezer. So I'm going to carefully try and take out, how many do we need? 1, 2, 3. So 6 of these. And these will make a compression when fitted together with the strut. So that's 3. I think we have 1 spare, which is good. I have no idea how easy it is to fit on. We will see now. And get one of these. Oops. Get a tweezer. And hopefully I'm gonna just probably, because this video, this pack is gonna be very long, so I'm gonna do my best, like I said, to make this as short as possible. But you see me put that on. Hopefully, can I roll that over? Well, that's one of them on. So I'm gonna try continue with this and get the rest on. It is a bit fiddly, as you can see, but I'm gonna do my best and I will be back with you. So you put each one into each groove, and once I'm ready with all 6, I will be back. So I'm trying to speed up as much as possible. Hopefully I get as much details as I can. So that's these 2 parts now done. Now these 2 parts, we need to get this one there. This is, let me see, where was it? There it was. This is the left side. You just about can see that there. And it needs to be in, where are we? This direction, this part, and now screw it into this part, which actually made it a lot more easier to screw in place now. So just like that. And we need to do the same for this. I will make these a lot tighter, but that's how that should look. So let's get this fitted to our media center. Now we have this. I'm quite excited to show you what I have done. You can see there's a lot going on here. This is my soundboard. You can load a SD card with MP3s. I think you could load 8 tracks with this. And it has a remote control, so no buttons. You just can control that with the remote control. And also there is speakers now inside, but I had to do it in this direction because it wouldn't fit. And also I had to make these 3D printed holders for the speaker that I would have to do. And there is a custom Lily Go screen inside. So all these wires, these are for the Lily Go. So that is going to the ESP32. This is the power, and they will be a surprise. They are lit up, our speakers. You could see it does have 2 cables coming out of each of them, and that will be connected up. And yeah, so that's what that is. I would love to do a installation guide on how I did this, but you could see that is very it's a very difficult mod and not straightforward. So unfortunately I'm not gonna do a tutorial how I did this because it's way too difficult, but I am happy it is working. So let's get on with our build. So hopefully you could see there is a L in there, just there, and the L would have to go this side in this direction. So like that, in that direction. There is a peg that will go into the bigger hole, and it just pushes in just like that. So you can have this moving, and the right side, which is just there, that will go on the opposite side again with the peg through the hole, and that will just push in. So let's just push that in. Oops, let's do that again. Perhaps we should do one by one. And with that, we need 2 AP screws. So I have my screws ready. I'm going to put this one in first. So that's both of them now installed. And I hope you could agree, there's going to be a massive improvement. Can't wait to show you when it's all lit up. So let's move on with our build. We have a lot to do. Now we need our body back. I'm gonna get a cushion just to protect it slightly. First, let's take this off. We're going to install our boot lid, and we need to turn this over. Just do that. There we go. So first thing first, let's get this in position. And what I found is that when you try to close this, it doesn't really sit correctly, and this part needs to be pushed in really. So I had no way of thinking how to adjust this. So the best way that I did this, I just put a drop of glue, held that down, and it did help, but it's not a perfect fit, but it's a lot better. So if you do have a bit of issues with the fitting, give that a go. So we need to get these 2 parts into these 2 slots. Loads of cables. I don't know how we're going to do this, but we will get there. Now we had these 2 metal parts. I can't remember in which issue these came, but you can see 2 holes. So there's a peg and a hole, and the longer side needs to fit over that bracket. So let's just get that. I'm just trying to get this correct. Okay, that's done. Now we need to put a AJA M screw through that, and that is a AJM screw just going in there. There's a bit of oil, and that will just be held in place just like that. So that's now screwed in place. Okay, so let's try and get this fitted. I probably will be taking this off. This is just to see how this would be fitting. But now cable J will need to run towards the back of this, and the rest of these cables will need to be lifted up. So like that. And this one and this one, these will need to be lifted up. So let's get this somewhat in position. So all these cables need to be lifted up, and cable J will be fitting into this. There is a small groove just there, and cable J will need to just run under here just like that. So be careful, these pistons we installed, there is some pistons, don't want to break those. And that's how that goes. I have installed what it says now to turn it over, and our multimedia screen, you turn it over and just fit that in, which I'm not going to do just yet because mine is already installed. Also, it's saying S, so I think this was S, but that would need to go. It can just about fit. If you just turn that up, it just about does. So you would get this LED and plug that in, which is extremely tight. They could have done just a little bit longer. Mine's already has LED inside, but I guess we can make it a bit more of a LED just to illuminate. So I'm gonna mess around with all of this so mine can just about fit in there, and I will probably tape this cable down and get this plugged in just in the back here. So just like that, that goes. Now we have our roll cage, and we need to get this just beneath, just here, and just put your finger just there, and a AP screw, making sure you're not gonna screw any cables through, and that will just go here. So that's now tight. Now we need 2 more screws, and those are CM screws, and those are to attach our multimedia system. So that's the first one. So that's both of them now screwed in place. I have a bit of tidying up. I'm thinking either this soundboard will go maybe here, or I could put it, if nothing's going to be interfering there, I probably will be putting it here, which I think should be fine. Most likely here, and that way is out the way. So yeah, I believe that is the end of this issue. So let's just take a look. Actually, that fits very well. That's good. So let's just open that up, make sure that these are okay. Yep. And that there. Okay, very good. it's not telling us to put our rods in yet, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to follow the instructions as it is, and we will take it one step at a time. This is issue 100. That was a lot of fun, the last issue. Left headlight. So we are running some cables and installing front part, which we haven't seen for a long time. Okay, great. So that should look good. So that's the parts. I'm just gonna open that up and get going. Okay, so we have these two parts and I have my screw ready. So that's how it looks. So in this direction, and flip that over, and it will go just like that. So you could see that. Now we need 2 AP screws. So one just there. Don't make that too tight because you can snap that plastic part, but that looks really nice. So now we need to bring our chassis over. We have our chassis back, so let's just put that here. You can see I'm hoping this is my power mod. I ran a cable through here and it will connect to the board, and this will connect to my TV screens. And just to show you, I never screwed it in just yet, but I'm hoping maybe just to mount it, there's a little gap just there, and either I could put some glue or something, and that will go like that. So that's coming on along nicely, so no need for drilling or anything. And that cable goes like that. So now we need our circuit board, and from the angle, let me see now, let's do it like this maybe, and that, I think that's better. So let's move these just for now so we don't complicate things. And from what I can tell, the blue cable will go to the right, so the blue to the bottom, and there's 2 holes which will go just there to mount. So just like that. And we need to put 2 AGM screws. So one will just go, let me just find the location, just here. I believe something like that. Just need to make sure that goes to the right. These cables go to the left. I'm pretty sure it's that. Okay, so also now what we need to do is this part, we need to remove these 2 cables. So it's that one, and where is it? This long one. Just remove 7 and 8. So we're just gonna pull these off, just like that, and get these 2 cables out the way. So let's just get this. Now we have our LED with label 8. We need to split this cable carefully. Let's run it all the way down. And be careful. Just split that right down. Nearly there. That's straight. Should make it a bit easier. And nearly. And just being it. There we go. Being a bit careful there. That's all. Now, with the red cable, with the label, we need to put the red one just through here. So let's try that first. So that's now gone through. Now we need to do the same onto this side. And let's try wrap that first. Should make it a bit easier, hopefully. This one should just go straight through the hole. There we go. That was a lot more easier. So let's just get all these cables out the way. And I believe, let's just make sure. So in this direction, this will go like that. So this will fit exactly there. Hopefully you'll see that. So I just got a bit of tissue and put some cleaning fluid on that just to have that clean. It will make a big difference when sticking it down. So that's all nice and clean. Where's it gone? Peel back the adhesive, which I always have struggle with. There we go. And we want this directly in the middle. So let's try do our best. And I guess it's around there. I'm not gonna fully stick it down. Just enough until I could see that looks straight. And we're going to get this cable and this cable. And we need to, there's a bit of oil there I could see. Better wipe that now. And our circuit board is in the correct position. I forgot to fully tighten it down, which I thought that's a very unusual position to put that in. It is not lined up straight, but it is in its correct way. So just like that. So with this cable, we'll mount this fully down. Get a bit of tape. Let's run that along here. Just to hold the wire in place. That held both of them now. And it's saying to put one more just to hold this cable up, which I guess we can do while we're here. Trying to get that nice and tidy, and this will run along this edge. Okay, so now we need to remove letter N, which I believe it's this one, the red and blue cable, and carefully just pull. You know what? Let's just do it this way. It's a lot more easier and less damage. So just pull that off. There we go. And where is it gone? Let's get that all the way out. So let's just do it in the way the magazine is. Let's get this maybe like this. There we go. So magazine is like that one. Let's see the other one. And we have two. And let me just see what we're doing. Because this will take a bit of time to get it where we want it to go. I could see it here. I just need to try and find that, which nearly did. I think we could go perhaps from under. Yeah, I could see it just here. So I'm gonna do this and I'll be back with you in 1 second. Okay, so I have finally managed, and let's see, maybe here you will see what I have done. And just feed the cables through the larger hole, just there, and same there. And the way I have wrapped it, to show you, we'll go there, just under, like that. Well, I believe that's how it shows in the instructions. So now we need to remove V and M. So where's V? I think V was, they said red and, yep, it's just these two. So let's just remove M first. And V. We need to follow the same pattern that we just did. So I'm gonna attempt to do that again. And just untangling this. Goodness me. Nearly. So that's done. So in the same pattern what we just did, the longer cable will go to this side and the shorter cable will go through this side. Again, through this hole. It's same for us to loosen the firewall. And you know what? I'm gonna do that right now because we have to do that anyways. So just saying to remove the screws. Yes, we can do that now. Make it a bit easier for us to feed the cables through. And it's just saying to slightly lift the firewall. You can now, and you can gain a lot more access feeding these cables through. So I have this tubing. It is flexible, as you can see, and I'm thinking just to hide the wires, not to have these wires revealed. So I'm gonna just show you one. So I'm gonna just feed one through, and I'm gonna see if it's possible to put all of them through like that. And if we can put all the cables into one of these, I think that would look a lot better. So just push this through. And then we will do the same with the others. So that's one. Just about that, something like that. So the other one was this one. And get that through. So I put all of them through. I'm gonna see if I could just lift this slightly. Is this attached? Yes, it is attached. And okay, so I have threaded that through. Let me just show you. You could see both. Let me just see here. LEDs. What we need to connect to the headlights. So that's all of them. So that is quite a good way to do this. I'll show you the underside. And I think that's a lot better than just bare cables showing. So I do like that. That's much better. Just hides all those cables. So it's coming along nicely. And I'm not attaching this just yet. So I'm just going to move this to the side. And we need to get on with our next part. Now we have this part and the LED we took off earlier. This is number 7. Again, split this down the middle, just like this. And we'll get this soon. And a little bit more. Just split it. Oops, nearly too much there. So, where are we? Like this, and the red cable will go through this hole. So there's the hole just there, and the other hole is just here. So just wrap that label as tight as possible, makes it easier, and should be able to feed through. There we go, that's one. Same again with this side. Let's get that cable around. Sorry, the label. Cable label. There we go. And we need to just pull these right through. So, like that. Now, like this, we need to get this in this area. And it's showing us go towards the back with this cable. So just roughly around there. So just remove the backing. So I'm trying. There we go. And just about we need to get this straight in the middle. Maybe a bit more towards my side. Sorry, my left side. That might be okay. I think that looks kind of the middle. So that goes there. And this will just pull through. Trying. There we go. So that's that done. So now what we need to do is, I believe we already loosened the firewall. So I'm going to move this out the way. We have our chassis back. And what we need to do is flip this over. So we have this. like that. Get all these cables out the way. That looks so much better. And with the part we just did, we just put a bit of tape there. We need to attach this now. There we go. You have to excuse me. So we will bring these two cables through here. I might put something on there because it's quite difficult to get to. But let's see. First, just bring these two cables through this section. So that's one. And this is the other one. There we go. Nearly, yep. So at least those are now through. And we can... Actually, I should have went under. Excuse me. Let's go under this. And then we put it through that hole. So that's the first one. So we're doing this as we go. And I'm trying to make it as neat as possible. Maybe I'm being too fussy, but I'd rather do it now than come back to it and I'm not happy with it. I am taking my time. And when you take your time, I guess you get it the way you want it. So let's see where those cables went. That's one. And the black one, where's that gone? It's just here. There we go. So let's just push these through. And let me just a bit more. Perfect. So that is now in place. Looks good. Happy with that. Just tidied up a little bit with some tape, not for the wires to be seen. Didn't really like that. So that's nice and tight. So it could be flat as possible. I really hope my firewall's okay. I should have put a pillow. I don't know why I didn't. And is it still okay? I believe so. Okay. So what we need to do now is just attach our firewall back. These cables will need to go down this channel. So just here. That would go. So good. And then this firewall will just screw in place. There's a few of these pipes became loose, but I can't put them back. So the first one just here, and I'll get the other one in after. So now we need to plug this in. So it is the one we just did. And we need to get this in order. Let's just make sure. I believe that will go. Yep. The blue and red will go on the far end. Blue and red just here. Let's just pull that slightly. See if I could get that in with my fingers. So that's the blue and red. White and red will go in the middle. So just this one here. And blue and green I believe that is. Or green and black, I think. That will go onto the far end. Just here. So that's all of them now plugged in. Should be secured enough. So that will just go like that. And you have two like locations that will go through the two middle of them. So that's now ready to be screwed in. So now we need two ZM screws. So let's just get that lined up. And this is the first ZM screw going in place. Don't make that too tight, otherwise it will crack. Just enough until it holds. For now, I think that's okay. And one more just there. This is coming on amazing now. Wow, getting excited. This has been an amazing pack. If you take your time, you can really enjoy it. I just have a few mods, that's why it's taking a little bit longer than usual. But I'm doing my best so it could crack on. Now our lens, that's this part, will need to fit over. You know what, so we can see, we can go this way now. And let's do it like that. It's a lot better. And we need to get some screws. So our cover will just fit over just like that, which looks amazing already. Make sure it's all clean though. I think that's better. Okay, so just like that, and in the two that's right in front, which my screw had to fall off, just here, line that up. There we go. And need another screwdriver. Let's just see. I think that's it. Yep. And that is the end of this issue. That was a really good issue. And we can plug that in after so we don't get it lost. I guess we could do that now. That way it's in place. This is really an awesome build. There we go, lovely. And yep, let's just move this out the way and bring over the next issue. This is issue 101. These are the parts. So the other headlight. Let's see what needs to be the, oh my goodness. Wow, what a car. I love that. Right headlight. So installing headlight and some brackets, and I don't know what that is. Wow. Okay, now that made me excited. We're putting on a chassis and that part now. Okay, this looks really good. And then a couple of screws to be plugged in. This is going to be a great one. Okay, let's get on with it. We are doing the right side now. So in this direction, with the two of these locations facing upwards, and the right side with these holes downwards, just over, just like that. 2 AP screws. Let's just line that up. One here, and that's the first one. Perfect. So that's now screwed in place. We need to attach this to our vehicle. We have our chassis back. Just preparing what we need to do. And let's get this angle. Should be okay like that. Now we need to plug in our LEDs again. And in this direction, you can see the blue and red will go just there. It is very tight to push in. There we go. That's that one. The middle will be white and red. So just there. Make sure they're fully pressed. And the green and black is the last one, just at the far end, just here. That one's a little bit tight. Should be able to plug that in. Push that in with the tweezer. There we go. Great. Now, like the other side, you can see these two need to fit into the middle. And we need to just get this. Where are we? I think we need to bend some of these cables to get it into that hole. Should be okay. A bit more, maybe this one. And there we go. Perfect. Now we need to get the screw, which was ZM. So let's just get that lined up just there. Our first ZM screw will go there. And that's great. One more. Can I get into that? Probably not. So let's just pull that slightly out the way. And one more just there. Perfect. There's no wobble into that. Let's just plug this back in so we don't forget. There we go. Absolutely adore this build. And now we need, okay, so just over what we just did, and we need 2 SM screws just here. Don't overscrew that, especially in this part. Then that's it. It's looking really nice. So it wants us to turn this over. Should be able to do that like this. Shouldn't have any harm. And carefully do that. And we need to remove a steering column, which is this one, just here. And that was a, I think, needs to, but that's now removed. So now we need to just move this out the way for now. Now this part, let's just get this window. And the steering arm we just took off. And we go there. So not there, just below it. And we need a AIM screw. So let's just get this screwed in. And I'm gonna just dip that a little bit in oil. And get that screwed in. So that's okay. So now we need our chassis back. So let's just bring that over. Okay, let's just turn this like that. And I really can't remember which issue these came from, but we need to now install these parts, which is one here and one there. They look a bit tight, but let's see. That's one. This is the other side. So that's both of them now resting. But there is one smaller and one shorter. And in the picture, it doesn't really tell you. So I need to make sure which is which. Okay, so I believe 9D is the longer one. This is the shorter one. And it needs to go in a way that it is in this position. So hopefully you can tell. And let's just make sure. So like this. Oh, so I guess plug that in as much as it goes. And then the same with the shorter one just here. Just push that in so it doesn't fall out. Well, I think so anyways. See if one side's better than the other. Yeah, so it will go in like that. Okay, now we need these parts that we assembled. So it needs to be turned over like that. And there is these parts, what we just did. Maybe we can do this and bring this slightly here. So these parts, you can see in the small camera, will need to be fitted like into those places. And also this needs to go here, and that these key shape hole will need to go in there. So it's a bit fiddly. I'm sure we get there. So you need to just position these in a way that it will, everything will just fit in place. Get this like that and like that. Okay, that's one side. We need to do the same on this side. So let's just bring this here. You might be able to see what I'm doing. So this will go, just hold that down, twist that so it can lock it into that groove. So it is locked in place and it is moving as we think it should move. So we need to now screw this in place. So 4 cm screws. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. So I'm gonna get this first one just here. So that's now tight and all 4 in place. Hopefully, yep, that's moving good. And I think, yeah, we're good. So let's just turn this over and get this top side. Hopefully it is in its place. I think it is. So it's just saying these holes, the highest hole. So there's one here. Let's just get that in. So screw that quite firmly. So I'm gonna do that, do the same. Just there's another screw. So I'm gonna do the same and I'll be back with you. So that's now screwed in place. So now with this part, let's just perhaps do this. There we go, that's better. So these 2 points, let's just get that in place, making sure our springs are there, which I could see they are. So that's 1, 2. It's looking fantastic. 2 EM screws. So again, I would somehow just get your finger beneath that and screw that in place. So that's the first one. So that's good. Now we need to do the same on the other side. But I need to just turn this slightly so I could get access to it. And again, just hold that with your finger and screw that in place. Excellent. Happy. So that looks really good. Everything's working. Springing. Yep. This is absolutely amazing. So we need to turn this over. So I'm gonna try to do that. And it's telling us to screw. I'm trying to find where does this need to screw into. Is that the... aha. So hopefully you could see that. Just onto there. This will need to be just located. There we go. Perfect. And we need now a YM screw. So let's just put that there. Great. That's nice and tight. The mechanism on the steering is really impressive. Better than I've seen on most builds. So that's moving nice. Yep, happy with that. And we need to get a bracket now on. So this part, let's just see if we can get a good view. So it will go only one way with these posts facing downwards, and it just slides into these two holes, which we have to somehow push in place. There we go. That's much better. Still, that was difficult. So this part, I believe, will go just here in that direction. AP screws. This is the first one. So that's now both of them in place. So let's just turn this over. And we need to get now R. We need to locate R. That's very loose, isn't it? Wow. That speaker, some cables there touching. No, sorry, it's glue. That's way too loose. I might see to replace that speaker. Actually, I don't like that. Should be able. I think I do have another better one. How many watts is that? It is 0.5 watts, so that's very low. But anyways, let's get this. Where's R? Okay, R is just here. Excuse me. So in that location. You have to be careful when inserting now these plugs, because there's not much support on these plugs now with the board plugged in. Don't really like that. Okay. I think that's it. I think it's plugged in. So that is the end of this issue. Bit tricky, but again, very enjoyable. So let's move on. Okay, this is issue 102. These are the parts. And wire fastening and light test. Wow. Okay. Now, I know on mine, I have already taken a look at this magazine. This part, I'm happy with mines, because I'm gonna leave mines staying up, and this is to help with the closing and opening of the screen that goes into the dash, so I'm most likely gonna miss this part. But we are installing our dashboard, fitting some LEDs, sorting some lights, plugging in some wires, and I'm thinking, are we and doing a test and getting ready for our steering. Okay, great. Wow. So let's get on with that. Okay, so we have our interior, and this is my dashboard. As you can see, it has quite a lot of mods. I have redesigned this casing. Also, I redesigned that, and everything is now fitted. I even printed a small PlayStation 2. So it is powered by a ESP32, and I just wrapped the wires like this because it was easier, and it's going to be interesting to get all these cables fitted, but we will give it a go and take it from there. I think we have to pass this side down this line, so I might as well get that ready. And let me just get this cable and carefully just pull it through the other cables that I have created. I'm really hoping I could get this all nicely fitted. But yeah, it has also a upgraded LED strip in there for the LED lights. So let's see how this goes. The part I was talking about is to replace this part, which, as you can see, mine is fine. And we're going to just mount this like that, and we need 2 CP screws. So that is going to go one here. I'm quite excited about this issue. That's so I can see how everything will be fitted together. So that's one side. We need to do one more on the opposite side, and that is now screwed in place. Excellent. So this should be okay to get hidden behind here. So, and then we have these, this, and this, and this. So we have now created, let me see, 2 extra, which is not disaster. Okay, great. So it's telling us to do some tidying. I'm not sure if I did do that. And we need to bring, I guess, these cables down. So something like that. And we need to tape them down. So I'm gonna do my best to get that down, and once I get that to close enough to where I am happy, then I will be back with you. So I'm just gonna remove this and get it done. We have this part now. We haven't seen it in quite a while, and we need to remove these 2 orange lenses, and I'm going to try with this plastic tip. It just pushes out like that, and I think we need to do both parts, telling me. So that's the first one, think I remember, yeah. One of my clips broke off. So that's both of them. Just keep them separate. And we need to get over some cables. We have our chassis back, and we need to remove some cables, and those are, I believe, L, which is this one. So we need that one, and I think it was this one too, G, yes. So L and G needs to be removed. So we need to get the letter G, which is the blue and black, and that will need to go just along this edge, and this will run down this line. And same again with L. Let's just run this label to the top so you could remember what is what. And again, like that, so you can see what I'm doing. So the double wires will go this end, and trying to see what I'm doing. So like that, and this will run down this end. So let's just turn this in this direction, and maybe we can go a bit closer. So we need this part. Let's see if we could do this. Let's just fix this. Now this end will go through that hole. Same with the blue and black through that hole. So those two are ready. So it's asking us to secure the bumper now. So just make sure you don't lose the cables. Push them through first and wrap it in that direction. It has to go under this lip. So once it goes under, and then that looks great. I like that. So we need to now secure this with BM screws, and I think it's just there. There is a hole. So I have adjusted that now. Make sure that's moving. So is that. And there is a gap just here. And just remember when you're fitting the LEDs to get that through the gap. If I remember, let's get these back on. I think it was this one. So push the LED through the hole. That is very loose, so I'm going to put a bit of resin on that. So I have put a bit of resin on that, and that will just, remember, it will go in that direction. I did get confused on which one was what, but I think we're there now. Just making sure it is correct. It needs to push in place. Okay, now we have the lens in this direction. It's not that easy, to tell you the truth. So let's just put one here, and I'm gonna get all these taped down, and then I will be back with you. So that's the way I did this. Hopefully it'll be okay. So I'm gonna do the same with the other side. And then we need to do a bit of cable tidying. So I will be back and we will start to tidy this up. Perhaps let's leave it this side because we need to gain access down this channel. So you can see it has been all laid out. Our wires from this side has been taped down. I have made this as flat as possible. So I have my own mods, power mods and all kinds because I have screens and everything. But yeah, that's gonna go into the screens and everything. So there's a lot more cables to be fitted, but this I have done some extensions and I have made up some more extensions because I believe it's going to be quite difficult to put the body on. I have looked at Will's workshop channel and he suggested to put this part towards the back of the seat. So I'm going to attempt to do that. So that's the reason I have done extensions, but you could see everything is running quite nicely. So everything should fit quite well. These should fit behind. So everything is labeled. So first thing we have to locate 17. So I'm just going to do 1. And then I will put everything in. So 17 on mine is this outer one. So these two are 17 and I believe, yep. So that's 17, these two. So 17 we need to find on here, which now I have to get my magnifying glass. I can't see it. So give us a second. So I'm gonna get now it's showing onto the magazine. All of these cables need to be plugged in. 17, 16, 13, 18, 8 and 7. So I'm gonna plug them all in and I'll be back with you in a second. Okay, so everything has been plugged in and I have run this just behind here. We will attach now. It's saying to put this around this area, but I'm going to give this a shot to put it at the back where will go the seat, and hopefully when we put our body that should make things a lot easier. So now we need to put our interior, and you can see just here there is the steering column, and this, hopefully you could see, needs to fit under this. And these cables, what I was saying, these are everything that's connected for my screens, and this is the ESP32. I guess we can connect these, but I'll do that after because there's still, let me just show you these cables which I need to connect to the rear screen, so I can't fully screw this down just yet until I get those screens fitted. But you would slide this under that column, make sure your wires are coming from this back or the side here, yours would be, but mine fits quite flush, and you want to make that as flush as possible so you don't get the dash in a way that when you put the body there will be doors, and that can make things difficult. So now what we need to do, I'm going to turn this in this direction. Perhaps I can get our other camera, but I'm just going to pull all these out the way for now. So Just have to remember what is what. Okay, I remember now. So just for now, and these cables, all these cables need to be plugged in. And I'm probably, as you can see, let's just put this here. This will probably just go when everything's plugged in, because there will be enough room, I am hoping, just here with the extensions. I'm hoping that this will just be like that, and then that should make things a lot easier. So that's the theory. So all these cables now would be needed to be plugged in. So there is quite a few. So I'm not going to do every single one with you. Plus I have the extensions for the other side. So I'm going to get all my wires fitted, plugged in, and then we will do a test like it's showing on my magazine and take it from there. So I'm going to just plug these in. Okay, so everything has been plugged in and it's not fully installed yet because we need to plug in these, and also I'll get to that. So what we need to do now, the only thing I didn't plug in was, this is the battery box, which would be here, and that will go into A. So I have my own power mod, which I don't need to connect the batteries to, and so that's there. And other than that, everything has been plugged in, and I need to now just connect my power cable to my power mod, which I can't remember what side was it on. It's just here, so we could just plug that on. So that should be on. Now let's just see. Perhaps we can go this way. Not sure if that's a good idea, but I think, let's see if it works. There we go. So that's the first one, and we can see those are working, and I'm not sure if the front, let's just see. Yep, let's just hold that down. It's quite difficult to see, but from the lighting it is on. Maybe if I turn it off and on, you will see. There you go. You can see them all working. So when you press that, that also does the inside, that button. So I'm quite excited. Okay, that's good. Next one should be this one. So let's see, maybe here. Hopefully you could see. So let's just try to get this back in picture. So that's this one. So you can see that works. Now next one is this button, and both of them work. Great. Wow, that's great. Now this one, it says, I believe, let me just make sure I'm going in the pattern that it's illustrated in the magazine. That's working. These two are working. I don't think the back is not on yet, but you can see that. Hopefully, I'm not sure if you could see. Let's just bring this a bit closer. And you can could see that's working. And this side is working. Perfect. Now, what else? This one, I think. That's the horn. Now, this one. Engine. And now, let's just take that off. Indicator. So that's this side working. And now this side, that's working. So with that, we have done a successful test. I'm very happy about. Wow, and it looks great. So everything is working as it should. So all wires are nicely tucked away. What it's telling us in the magazine now is to screw down. So you have one here, also two on the back with CM screws. I can't just do that just yet because I have to connect my rear screen to the cables, which is just here. So I'm gonna now move on to the next section, which is the steering wheel. So let's get our steering wheel. I think what I'm gonna do is take this away for my rear screen to be connected to all three, so that's 4 screens. I'm gonna put some extension cables that run here, and then we could put our steering and secure this down, because other than that it's gonna be quite difficult to put the steering, then undo it, and then it just makes confusion. So I'll bring over my steering and then I will extend the cables. We have our steering wheel. I did do a bit of a modification. I don't know if I will leave it on. It's just a bit of felt to make it look a bit more realistic. It's okay. Now we need to get our pedals. Give pedal shift. And there is, guess we can go here, 2 pegs and 2 holes. They need to line up with those 2, just like that. And now you can see this has to go a certain way. It's 2 flat sides, and you have to just turn this until you feel that flat side. Press it together quite firmly. It has to be in this direction up. So just like that. Just make sure that is all the way as much as possible. We need a AM screw. So I'm going to get an AM screw ready. So let's see that fitted. I did put a bit of oil on that. And try and get this screwed on as tight as possible. And just nearly there. And that is quite tight. So I think we're okay. It's not moving. So now with this part, if I do that, I'm going to just wipe it. So this part would go just over, and that's how that goes. Well, that's the end of this bit, so let's get it attached. We have our vehicle back, so let's just try and get a close-up. We need to get our steering rod, perhaps, let's see, like that maybe, and slide that through the top of this, and just there we need to just line that up like that, and we need 2 BM screws. So let's try and get that in place. A little bit fiddly. I did put a bit of oil in that. So that's perhaps first one. Let's just see. So I took that camera off just so I could show you. So both of them now have been screwed. Just making sure they're tight. Perfect. So I could see, hopefully that will be turning. Let's just see. Yep, that's turning. So great. And that is the end of this stage. So I'm just going to show you, this is what's left over. So we are just going to now get over to the next one. This is issue 103. This has been a massive build. So we are doing reinforcements and test. Light test. Okay. Wings, doors, hood, cables, attaching body. This is going to be massive. And then finally, test, attaching the body and these parts from the last stage, and some more here. So that's gonna look good. So let's get on with that. Let's bring over our body. So I think from this angle, let's see if this will work. So this part, what we receive in this issue, we have to somehow, in the back here, I think I could see two positions where this goes. The two pegs need to just push into this place just to cover all that. To do that, I'm not sure how easy that's gonna be. So I think that's pressed in. A bit difficult to show you, but you just pressed it in. So now what we need to do is bring over our doors. So I think the first door will be in this direction. Can we do close up? We might be able to get away with that. So I'm going to bring over our door. We have our door, and let's see. You could see the hinges would just go here. So in that position, we will need two. Let me just get the screws ready. GM screws. Just gonna dip mine slightly in oil. And this is quite important to line it up carefully. I think that's the first one going in. I think they're tight enough. And we could pull that mirror when we want out. Let's just see. Mine is pretty stuck in there. Perhaps. And there we go. Yep, that looks okay. Happy with the alignment. I think that looks fine. Cool. So what I'm gonna do, the same on this side. Perhaps like we did. Just there. And again, line this up. It kind of worked the way I did it last time. Just here. Try and get that screwed in place. So that's both of them in. Just making sure they're tight. Should be tight enough. There we go. Oop. Quite difficult to open. But that's looking good. Quite happy with that. So, okay. That's good. What we now need to do is bring over our bonnet or hood. So I'm I'll see if I could get some angles here. We haven't seen these parts in a long time, so our hood would go just like that, or bonnet, hood bonnet, whatever you prefer. Now we need 2 TM screws on each side. Let's just line that up carefully. Seems to be okay, and that's the first one going in. So I'm gonna get all 4 in, and then I will be back with you. So that's all tight, and it's operating, so perfect. I think that should be good. So let's see what else needs to be done. Okay, let's just move this slightly this way. So we have our wings now. You can just about see them here. Now, I think this is a really, from all this build, I think this is, I have no idea how this is going to work, but there is adhesive in the back of this, and this one will go like that, and this one like this, and then you get these 2 pads that you would stick to the side here, again just there, and then somehow you have to get the LED sandwich between these 2 parts. For me, that's a really bad design, so I'm gonna try. If it holds, it holds. If it doesn't, then I will have to 3D print something to get that working, because that's really poorly, I have to admit. On all the build from the Nissan, I think this is one of the worst of its ideas, but we will see. Let's see if it works. Let's see. So that's the first one. So you've just seen, I just peeled off the adhesive. Again, on this side, that's trying to get this stuck down. Just there. Goodness me. Don't know how this is gonna work. I don't think we do anything with these. I can't remember sticking these down, so must be in a later stage. Probably we will have to attach these here. That's not telling us, so I'm going to move this to the side for now and get these wings attached. Let's just move this here. It's telling us to flip over, so we have to be very careful now, because we have the bonnet, the doors, the boot lid. So just take your time. I have a lot of cables. I have a, I'm hoping that will stay there, but let's see how we go. So it wants first, I believe it's this side. Oh, was it? Yeah, we could go this side. And it is this one. So we need to get this attached into these locations. There is 6 screws, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that needs to be attached. So I'm gonna try and get this all attached. I don't think, let's just see if this will work. Nope. So I'm gonna leave on this camera, and we need CM screws. We have these adhesive pads, which find this very unusual. So these will need to go in between, I believe, these 2 holes. Just making sure if that's correct. That's what it's telling us. So just like that. Goodness me, weird. And then how do you supposed to get that LED in there? I guess we will come to that, but that's pretty poorly designed. And let's just get this one also attached, which is just between again. When something's good, it's good. When something's a bit weird, I will say it. And I think this is a bit weird. So let's go get this attached. And was it this one? Yep. Can we get that maybe now? Perhaps we can position this. I think we can't. No. Excuse me about this. So let's just get this positioned correctly. And we will get... And let's take a look. So you have to get your LED into that, which I can see. I'm just taking a look. It must be another way we can do this. I'm going to try. So this is this first CM screw being screwed in place. So I'm going to get all 6 screwed in. So let's take your time. Line that up carefully. So get that one in and then get this one in and then the rest should line up. So I'll get that done and then I'll be back with you. So I have lined these screws up and I have now put all 6 screws in place, and that's both wings attached. It is a bit of a task, but that's quite tight. And I'm not sure if I showed you that. Let me just make... So I'm not sure if I filmed this, but that's where the LED will go, which I find very unusual. And let's see how that looks. Did it line up nicely? And there you go. I think that's not too bad. Yeah, that's pretty good. Boot opens. Sorry, bonnet. There we go. It does open. It does open. So, yep, happy with that. Making sure no cables are being trapped. Excellent. So, with that, I think I have my body panels. It's not telling us to attach these, but I'm pretty sure that these will go here. Probably in the next issue, so keep these safe. And that should line up that as well. And yep, we need to attach the body to the floor. Plug in all the screws. I have our floor. Let's just move this slightly. I don't know how we're gonna do this, but let's try. I have extended quite a lot of cables, just not these cables. Sorry, that will plug in into our board. If it doesn't fit, then we will have to extend those cables. So I'm gonna try, see. You can also see, well, I'll show you in a minute because it's not in view, but I think it's time to take this bar off. So let me just take that off. So that's off now. Okay. Bit nervous. Let's just move this to the side. We have to get everything attached. So So all these LEDs, all these switches, they will go here, and there is absolutely loads of room in the back here. So that should be good. We need to get everything plugged in. So you have to excuse me. This is one of the times that I have to cut away, see how this goes, and I will balance this like that, try plug in everything, and I will be back with you. So you can see plugs like that, just follow where they need to go. So that is M, we'll plug that into M, and then all these will be going into our board. So I have finally plugged everything in. I think without doing any of the extensions, you're gonna have a very hard time doing this. So I have extended even the JST cables to the board and these, and it makes it a lot simpler to maneuver. My only issue is the indicators, but I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to attempt just to see if this helps. You have to, well, let's open up these, and yeah, we get this side open as well. Oops, there we go. You have to get all these cables out the way behind the seat. So I'm going to try and get everything out the way, and then we will test it. But it looks okay so far. It's just these indicators, really. So I think this should fall in place, actually. And let's try maybe lift this slightly. I'm gonna try and get these indicators in. As soon as I get around to do that, I will be back with you. Okay, I have somehow, it has dropped. I did slide. It's not that bad. As soon as you lift up this section a bit, you can slightly push them up, and hopefully it will stay there. I'm not sure if this will close. No. But I think it needs to drop down more. And yeah, I think what I'm gonna do, yeah, it needs to calm down quite a bit here. So there's still a bit of pushing, pulling to be done, but it's telling us to do a test. So let's see if everything works before we start messing around. So I'm just going to get my power mod and I'll be back. Okay, my screens are working there. Screen is working here. I'll show you, which looks amazing. There we go. So that's working. That looks amazing. So our screens are working. I don't know if you could see just about in here. So in here, I did print a PlayStation 2. That is Need for Speed. And everything there is working except one LED there. And I'm hoping it's just a turnaround. And I think, what's the R? Could it be reverse? Yep, reverse light is working. And let's see what else. I think this light. Okay, brake lights are working. Perfect. And It's telling us to do hazards. Yep, that's fine. This side, that's okay. That side, that's okay. So everything seems to be working as it should. So as soon as I get that cable sorted, then we will try fit this body together. But you can see it looks absolutely amazing. I love it. Let's see the top. Yep, interior lights are working on the roof. Okay, we're doing well. So what we need to do is turn this over, and we need to get this as flat as possible. So let's just try and flip it over carefully. Oh, goodness me, quite heavy now. Okay, so we need to put a couple of screws in. You need to get this as flat as possible. Mine is not that flat, and I'm hoping with the screw it might get it slightly. The most important is this, so we could get our doors control a lifting. Our doors to be shut as best as possible. So we got this side and this side. We need to get that quite tight. So we have one here, one just here, and two in the rear arches. So let's get this started. Just a bit of oil. So I'm gonna get this hopefully closed up. So that's all of these down. These two front ones are very difficult. You need to somehow get this lined up. I found the firewall, you need to push forward a bit so this could sit. As you can see, that's quite flat now, which I'm very happy about, because that was quite difficult to get that flat, but we got there in the end. So we need to do the same on this side, and let's just put my power mod just there. This power mod, when I'm done, I will position this inside. For now, that's okay. And we need some screws. We need again 5 EM screws on this side. So one here, one here, one here, and 2 in the back. So it's getting there. That's all of them screwed in, and I think that's okay. I am not sure on the alignment. I don't think it's going to be great, but let's see. That's not too bad, the front on this side. So I think let's flip this back over. See if our doors open and close. Yep, that's good. And that's flat too. Great. It's not looking too bad, to tell you the truth. It's okay. Gonna need a bit of a cleanup. At least turning it over, it's not as bad. So let's just push this just here, and just to get a good view. I think we're okay there. We have these parts now. This is the right side, and that just pops like that, and we need some screws. We need AM screws. So let's just get the first one lined up just there. Great. So that's the first one. I'm gonna get the others in, and I'll be back with you. And that is the last one in, and that's secured. We need a few more parts, and we're nearly done. We have these parts. I've made a mistake, so it's good I've seen it now. When I've tried to line this up, these are too long. and it was the wrong way. So the shorter side will go in first, and then that will overhang. I thought it goes the other way, but it doesn't. So I'm going to turn all these around and I will be back with you, and then I will fit this. But I've corrected it now, and that fits flush like it should do. So let's just line that up. First screw will go here, AM screw. Excellent. So let's just make sure that's fully screwed down. Turn that over. Spin it over. And we need to do the same. That looks to be good. So let's just have a look. You know what? That's not bad. I'm not so fussed about that. I could live with that. But yep. My Skyline has finally taken shape. I'm rushing. We still got one more part to do in this issue. So we have these two parts. And let me just see. Okay. So the right one will go onto this side. And this is the left one. Let's position these until it slots in. Just like that. And again, 2 AM screws. And that is it. Wow. Now, I've done a lot of builds, and I have to say, from the Skyline, I think that was the most challenging and took the longest out of everything. I'm happy to say issue 103 is completed. So I'm just gonna flip this over, giving it a final wipe down, because I believe I'm not gonna turn this over anymore. So yep, let's give that a quick turn. And that's looking very good. Perfect. So I'll wipe this down, and I might do a mobile view on the interior. But yep, that's it. Wow, I can't believe that. This is issue 104. I still can't get over 103. 103 was a task in itself. So we are doing the rear left wheel connection, attaching the brake disc and calipers, and then attaching the right wheel. Okay, interesting. So must be the left wheel must be ready for the next one. So let's get this open. We have our tire, and we could do this. Hopefully you can see just there, it says left. And we have 2 rings. The one with the shorter one will go towards the left side, and around just like that, and you just slot this in. There you go. Great. Now turn this over the other side. You will see just here it says right. I think you could see that just about. And we need to line this up with the other side of the holes. So roughly there. I think that looks okay. Perfect. So that's that done. Flip this over, and with the shorter ring, we need to put the front of the wheel just like that. Line that up, and we need to get 3 ABM screws So flip this over, and again, just slide that up slightly. And let's get this first one in. So that's now fully tightened down, and that's done. So great. Now we need, I believe, our car back. Okay. She's heavy now. So we have our Skyline back. And a lot easier now to turn over. Really happy with the result. Let's see if we can get a close-up, hopefully. And I think we're okay if we do this. That looks good. Now we need our right side of the caliper. I'm not sure if you would see that. There is a small R. We have to separate these, but be very careful. They are very fragile pins. Stick your nail slightly and be careful pulling it apart. Take your time, that way everything should be okay. Great. So now I remember the one with the R, so the two holes that will line up like that. So you could see that. And we need to get 2 AP screws. So let me just find that. So my AP screws are ready. It's going into plastic, so we don't need any oil. That's the first one. And that's slightly screwed down first. Then the bottom one. Get that in as well. And now we could tighten both of them up. Just enough until there's no wobble. That should be fine. The bottom one, I believe. Now the top one. Perfect. So that's done. So these are the 2 discs that we did quite a while ago. And you could see one of the discs is going in this direction and this one is going into that direction. So we need this one. Let's move that to the side. Just like that. So you can see. And now we need this and line up the pins. That looks amazing. First, let's find our pins. Okay, I see it. That's one here. Let's get the bottom on it as well. And carefully push in place. It's a bit tricky because I'm scared about the pins. Okay, there we go. Perfect. So that's a bit tight though, isn't it? That's very tight. But yep. Okay. Just making sure that brake disc and calipers won't come apart. Push as far as you can. Now we need the right tire. So where's that? It just shows right there. And we need, there is a slot just at the top there that will go into the caliper and the disc. So we have to just get this first on. Let's just line that up. It's a bit tight. And there we go. So twist it until I guess it catches. There we go. Perfect. So we need a DM screw and this plastic washer. And that will just go. Make sure it's fully tightened down. Which it is. That looks good. Amazing. What we need to do is these. We need to cut off. So just here. Just like that. So I'm going to cut all of them off now. So we need 5 of these. Perhaps with a tweezer. Let's see if we can push these in first. And now we have this. You can see the pattern on the front. I believe it just pushes in. It's very impressive. So very happy with that. And with that said, can't believe I'm saying this, that is the end of this pack. Wow. I was gonna do a, well, how it turns on and everything. You've seen it light up. This is the left one that we built. So that will just go here. Just here somewhere. There we go. And that looks amazing. All I can say, thank you for bearing with me. It is the end, like I said, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you can hit that thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, that would be amazing. Look forward to seeing you all next time. One more pack to go. That's goodbye for now.